Is it in their best interest to encourage the adoption of EVs? Stay tuned as we delve into these fascinating subjects and illuminate the way forward for a more environmentally friendly future. We go deep into the world of electric cars in today's video, with an emphasis on the amazing tax benefits and incentives available to Canadian consumers. Get ready to be astounded as we unearth insider knowledge that has the power to completely alter your perspective on electric vehicles in Canada. First things first, though, please hit the subscribe button if you're new to our channel, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up. That being said, let's begin this video. Elon Musk has declared that Tesla does not need tax credits for electric automobiles, hence opposing them. However, governments all over the world have decided to provide significant discounts in the form of tax credits worth thousands of dollars in order to encourage the adoption of EVs. The goal of this approach is to persuade people to switch from conventional internal combustion engine cars to electric ones. For instance, owners of electric cars in the US are eligible for tax credits of up to $7,500, which lowers the cost of buying a Tesla or other electric vehicle. In contrast, Canada has only offered a few thousand Canadian dollars in tax advantages for electric vehicles in various regions. Nonetheless, Canadians are eligible for a discount of up to 50% on a Tesla vehicle, provided certain requirements are met. For many prospective customers of electric cars, this chance is a game changer this year. In 2023, it could save them tens of thousands of dollars and open up Teslas to a larger consumer base. Prior to moving on, let's visit themarketisopen.com instead of Yahoo Finance and Google Finance. Instant stock quotes and a plethora of freely accessible financial data from the last 15 years may be found here. The dominance of cars fueled by fossil fuels is being challenged by the world's rapid shift to electric vehicles. Even though it is well known for having enormous oil reserves, most of Canada's imports of foreign oil go to Ontario and Quebec. Adopting EVs will benefit the nation in several ways, including less reliance on foreign energy and job creation in manufacturing, R&D, and infrastructure development. Natural resources are plentiful in Canada and in great demand for the manufacture of electric vehicles. Additionally, zero-emission cars can greatly lower air pollution, which will benefit everyone's health. For these reasons, it is worth it for every Canadian province to support and encourage the use of electric vehicles, EVs, both to protect their residents' interests in the long run and to avoid falling behind as other nations quickly implement comparable policies. But in 2018, Ontario, the province that is home to over 40% of Canada's population, fully gave up on its intentions to provide incentives for electric vehicles. This is a terrible conclusion, since nuclear and hydropower make up the majority of Ontario's electric grid's energy sources. 10% of the grid still uses fossil fuels based on natural gas, notwithstanding the phase-out of coal between 2005 and 2015. For now, Ontario residents can take advantage of an EV incentive offered by the federal government, which can provide up to $5,000 on specific car models. This refund is valid for all-wheel drive long-range dual-motor Model S vehicles from Tesla, as well as rear-wheel drive Model 3 and Model Y vehicles. Larger all-wheel drive cars, trucks, and SUVs in particular, are preferred by many Canadians because, to the country's severe weather, which includes winter snowstorms. In the US, the all-wheel drive Model Y costs between $47,000 and $50,000. However, due to fluctuations in the Canadian currency, Tesla now offers the all-wheel drive model for $70,000 Canadian dollars. Even after the $5,000 discount from the federal government, this pricing is still regarded as high-end. Furthermore, many people in Ontario cannot afford the cost of electric vehicles when the 13% tax rate is taken into account. But in Quebec, purchasers can also take advantage of an extra $7,000 on certain models in addition to the $5,000 federal credit. Moving to electric cars is a fantastic opportunity for Quebec residents to get a lot of benefits. In addition to having substantially higher petrol prices at the pump than Ontario, Quebec also has plentiful and reasonably priced power. The province's electricity is produced by renewable hydro sources to the startling extent of 94%. Although the Ontario government doesn't seem to be very concerned about the EV revolution, numerous tax incentives are being covertly offered by the Canadian government to encourage people to switch to electric vehicles. These incentives may even prove to be more beneficial than the $5,000 rebate that will be available in 2023. Canada is now offering businesses that buy electric vehicles a 100% tax deduction write-off, which is a very smart move. The purpose of this reward is to promote their use. Remarkably, any firm can claim this tax discount provided that the electric vehicles are utilized for business purposes and are not used for personal use more than 50% of the time. This is unlike other tax deductions that are only available to incorporated companies. The cars have to be brand new, used exclusively in Canada, and leased for at least 3 years. If you have money from your business, it's not too difficult to qualify for this credit, though there are some additional requirements listed on the government website. Remarkably, there are no limitations on the cost of the electric car that is being bought. The sole prerequisite is that completely electric or hydrogen-powered cars, as well as plug-in hybrids with batteries that hold 7 kilowatt hours or more, qualify as zero-emission passenger vehicles. Nonetheless, the maximum deduction allowance is subject to a reasonable cap. Electric vehicles normally qualify for the Class 54 passenger vehicle category, which offers a 30% deduction rate initially capped at $55,000. For 2023, the ceiling has been increased to $61,000. Class 55, which includes rental cars and taxis, is subject to the same restrictions. Additionally, the half-year rule for certain groups is being temporarily suspended by the government. This rule, which generally halves the first-year deduction by 2, has been suspended so that individuals can now fully benefit from the 100% deduction in the first year. The fact that this is the last year when these tax incentives are completely applicable adds to the suspense. The option to write off 100% of the vehicle's capital cost allowance will be phased off beginning the next year in 2024. The rate of deduction will decrease to 75% until 2026, and thereafter to 55% until 2028. Following that, the car's residual value will be reduced in accordance with the conventional CCA guidelines. Even yet, in the first year of purchase, these 75% and 55% reductions are still noteworthy. Thus, purchasing an electric vehicle EV in 2023 is the greatest alternative now accessible and may significantly reduce the purchase price for a large number of purchasers. Let's examine the Tesla Model Y in more detail, focusing on the long-range dual-motor all-wheel drive variant. This model is eligible for a 100% tax deduction for corporate purchases or a $5,000 government incentive, with prices starting under $70,000 in Canada. It's crucial to remember that, depending on your unique situation, you can only select one of these possibilities. Canadian buyers of the Model Y can receive a $5,000 rebate by choosing the better choice, bringing the price down to $65,000 before sales tax. Let's now examine the advantages for people who buy the Model Y for commercial objectives. The 100% deduction for the complete car is a big benefit, assuming a 43% national tax rate and the necessity to meet the income limits. In the first year, the car is essentially considered an expense, and the buyer's income is deducted for the full amount up to a maximum of $61,000. The Model Y's purchase price is reduced by $26,230, bringing it below $44,000 and offering purchasers a significant incentive. The savings from this deduction would become apparent when taxes were filed the following year. The actual value of these incentives varies based on individual tax rates, although they are greater than the $5,000 flat incentive. For instance, choosing the rear-wheel drive Model Y, which starts at $60,000, would result in the entire car being tax deductible in the first year, providing the buyer an outright 50% reduction, provided the marginal tax rate is 50% or greater. It's important to note that the prices listed above do not account for the vehicle's sales tax. In relation to the $5,000 flat rate, it's crucial to remember that the all-wheel drive Model Y is classified as an SUV with a maximum manufacturer-suggested retail price of $70,000 needed to be eligible. Given that the Model Y costs $69,900, there isn't much space for other accessories without going over budget. Nevertheless, there is a workaround after purchasing the automobile. Software-based features can be bought separately. For example, adding Tesla's full self-drive option afterward will avoid including the purchase price of the car, even though it increases the price by about $20,000. For Canadians considering an electric vehicle, the 100% tax deduction write-off offers a substantial financial incentive. This discount is primarily intended to offset the greater initial cost of electric vehicles in Canada, making them a more tempting option for both individuals and businesses, even though some regions might not be as proactive as others. Furthermore, by lowering Canada's carbon impact and advancing North America's energy independence, this tax incentive helps to create a more sustainable future. Given that Canada has an abundance of resources for producing EVs, it also promotes job growth in the nation. Although Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has criticized business incentives, the truth is that similar benefits are currently offered in a large number of nations across the globe. As a result, Tesla aggressively exploits these savings for the benefit of its customers, increasing demand for Tesla automobiles. When making an eligible purchase, it's crucial to confirm that you are in compliance with the most recent regulations from the government. Despite this, it seems that Tesla updates its incentives website with the most recent information. This concludes the video. Hey, remember to like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed the video. This is Tesla Stock News once more. We appreciate your time and we'll see you in the next video.